So, time for another cup of coffee on a Monday. I wanted to talk to you guys about why I'm so obsessed with people telling their stories and why I've built my whole business around this idea. Um, I've always been a storyteller. Actually, when I was I think 15 or 16, we uh, um, we got an assignment in art class to create a picture book. And I created a picture book that was honestly the size of a toddler. It was about a meter wide and like 70 centimeters high or something. It was ridiculous. And the story was about, um, I don't remember all the details of it, it's been a while, but the premise of the story was that uh, there were two kingdoms and there was a prince and a princess in each of them. Um, and they um, didn't talk to each other at all until they were united by the fact that I want to say the prince kidnapped the princess's pet monster, who was a storytelling monster. Because the prince was bored and he wanted someone to tell him stories. So that's why he got the storytelling monster. And then, like I said, there were details involved, but I can't remember them. And I mean, in the end, they listened to the stories together. So even at that point in my life, I was I was thinking a lot about storytelling and how stories can connect people. And I think in the world that we are living in right now, there's so much going on. There's so much change. There's so many challenges. And I think a lot of people are are finding it difficult to deal with these challenges, or are maybe feeling very alone in those moments, and are maybe feeling that the things they usually do to kind of handle these emotional breakdowns, maybe they usually go out partying, or maybe they usually go out shopping, or maybe they usually go to the office for 80 hours a week. These sort of emotional security blankets that we all have to sort of cope with things that we don't want to deal with are being taken away because, you know, there's a pandemic going on. There's social justice movements that are really picking up momentum, and change for many people is super scary. And I think that as coaches and as people who have gone through change and through transformation and who have experienced how rewarding it can be to actually turn inward and deal with the things so that we can build a new life and a new reality for ourselves. I think when we can share those stories with people, that we can support we can support people in the change that they are having to go through, in the things that they are having to face in their own life. And I think that a lot of people are going to need that support, are going to need coaching, but are also going to need to hear these stories, to hear what it's like from other people's perspective, or like, oh, that person's going through something similar, or actually, I never considered, life from their viewpoint, and it's making me be more open to this, the struggle that they're going through, and I'm more willing to help them with those struggles. So I think that in order for us to create change in this world, and to do it in a way that gets people on board, that actually helps people as well, I think if we can share our stories, that is so important. If we can talk about the challenges in our lives in a way that is authentic and vulnerable, and that lets people know actually you're not alone in this. And yeah, change may feel a little bit scary right now, but actually let's go through it, because there's so much great stuff on the other side of that. I mean, I the, the biggest episode of storytelling for me in my life was when I started talking about the emotional abuse I experienced in my childhood. And it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying to put these stories out there. But to then have people come back to me and say, thank you so much for putting that into words, because I can relate to that. Or that made me realize that actually, yeah, that made me have an insight about my own experience, about my own relationships. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's so amazing that by just sharing those experiences, you can absolutely make a difference in people's life. And that's why we've chosen The Power of Reinvention to be our book at this point in time, to be the title at this point in time, because I think there's a lot of people who have come to a point in their lives where they have a need to make change and to reinvent themselves, to really take a look at where they've come through, or what they've gone through, where they've come to is what I wanted to say, but um, and now how we're going to move into the future. So so yeah, let's tell some stories together. Let's get those stories out there. Let's have people have that support of hearing each other's stories. That's really what I want to achieve with the work that we're doing at House of Hives. So that was my little Monday morning coffee moment with you all. And let me know if you want to know a little bit more about ways that we can help you get your story out. Bye.